Taylor Swift has 45 million followers on Twitter, and she selected like a few people to do this special thing, and my buddy John Mark was one of them. And so I'm gonna interview him and talk to you about the whole thing, and yeah, let's begin. So just, John Mark, tell me about it. What happened?
So I was actually in a coffee shop last Tuesday, and I was hanging with some friends, and I got this call from a blocked number. And usually don't answer those, but for whatever reason, maybe it was God, I don't know. I answered the call, and I'm really glad I did because it was from Taylor Swift's people. And they didn't really give me much information. They just said, hey, can you be at this secret event in Nashville on Sunday and meet us in this parking lot, give us this password, and you're gonna have the greatest night of your life. Which kind of sounds like how kidnapping starts. But because it was, Taylor Swift related, I was absolutely on board. And so I packed up my stuff, and a couple days later, got in my car and drove to Nashville.
What was the secret password?
The secret password was Bake Sugar Castles.
Okay, so after you got invited and all this, how long did it take you to decide what you wanted to wear for that day?
Oh, I think I probably tried on 6 or 7 different outfits, and then my sister, who's a lot better at dressing herself, dressing people than I am at dressing myself, she made me try on a few outfits, and then finally I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do me, and I'm gonna wear a plaid shirt and just jeans.
Nice casual.
It's good, yeah, very casual.
Okay, so after you got to this place, what picked you up? How did you get to the event?
So I drove to the event, and we're in this it was a nicer part of the town in Nashville, but still a random parking lot. And you kind of pull in, and there's just people milling around looking as equally confused as I am. And there's this guy in a cat t-shirt and a cardigan. And I was like, okay, maybe I am in the right place.
What happens next? Do you get picked up by some creepy guys, or what happens?
Yeah, well, like I said, this kind of feels like the beginning of an episode of Law and Order or Criminal Minds. That was not what happened. They asked us for the password or whatever, and then we signed some paperwork, and we turned in our phones and all of our stuff, and got patted down, and then we got in these party buses. And still, they did not tell us where we were going or what we were doing.
What made it a party bus? What made it different from any normal bus?
The seats were so comfortable. If I could have a couch, any couch in the world, the couch that I would have would be made of those seats. They're so comfortable. Cool lights inside, and just really cozy.
That's rad.
Even though it was a 10-minute drive, but Taylor put us up inside. The guy comes on the bus and he says, all right, you're going to someone's house.
So after the bus ride, tell me where did you go? And
it was her family home, so her parents live there and all that.
Oh, does she live at her parents' house?
Well, when you're Taylor Swift, you have several homes.
That's true.
So yeah, it's a beautiful home, and we kind of roll up through the gate, and that's when it actually starts to sink in. Okay, this is actually happening.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often.
No, this is not a feeling that I get very often in my life, actually. And so then the door opens, and all of her people are so friendly and super nice, and so we get off the bus, and the first thing we do is we go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I would have to pee after that
yeah,
too.
Absolutely. And so that was when I guess I really got that, because they still didn't tell us that it was her house. We're kind of connecting the dots mentally, but still nobody had told us. And so we go inside, and the paper towels have S's engraved on them, and I was like, Taylor Swift. Swift starts with an S.
Whoa!
That's when your brain just kind of explodes, and so we're all just super giddy, and then we start to eat. And that was when I realized that Taylor Swift and I would actually be friends in real life, because she had so much food. I was just Taylor understands my needs. She absolutely does. She had sushi and hummus and chicken nuggets and
wow,
sweet
she
chips.
knows you.
Yeah, she gets me. She really gets me.
So was there any particularly weird people who came?
No, it was honestly a really eclectic group of people. Everybody was a Taylor Swift fan, obviously, but really diverse. And I thought that I was kind of intrigued to see who would come. I'm 22, and so I thought that maybe I would be on the older end of things.
Surprised it wasn't a bunch of 15-year-old girls.
Yeah, and it was not. There's actually a married couple there that had gotten married the day before and had walked down the aisle to Love Story and had actually gotten engaged at a Taylor Swift concert the year before.
Wow, that is just
And,
incredible.
So I can't even imagine, like, you get married on Saturday and then Sunday, like, you're hanging out in Taylor Swift's living room with her, and that would be the greatest weekend of your like whole life for sure.
Oh yeah. So now that you've met Taylor Swift, like, what else do you really have to live for?
Honestly, I didn't think my life would peak this early. It's like this is like a lifelong career goal or a lifelong goal of mine.
And now the rest of your life is just gonna be lame.
Yeah, really, it's all gravy now. Like,
So what was the moment where you actually met her?
So we finished eating and then we go inside and sit on she had great pillows laid out all over the floor, and which was good because the ground was cold and hard. And so we sat on the ground and sat on these pillows, and then we're kind of just like waiting for what's gonna happen next. I mean, you look up at the mantle and there's a Grammy award and a Billboard award and all this stuff, and then there's a grand piano sitting in the room, and then she just like comes down the steps, and it's just like, hey guys. It was kind of cool that she didn't make this like grand entrance with like bells playing in the background or something. Like, she was so down to earth, and she's so human. Like, that's the best way to put that. Like, it's
Nice.
just like,
So she was really humble.
yeah, absolutely. You feel like she gets you, and you feel like, wow, like we could actually be friends, and we are friends.
Was she like nerdy or like quirky or what kind of?
Oh yeah, there were a couple of times when she like couldn't figure out how to work her phone. Like, when you open up the music app, and you tilt your iPhone this way, and all the albums kind of pop up, and she's like, what do I do when this happens? And then she asked us to fix, or to help her figure out how to get her battery percentage up in the top right-hand corner.
Oh, that's so funny.
And so like and then one of the guys in the audience was looking, and she had stickers all over the back of her phone, and he was like, is that a pegacorn? And she's like, if you have to ask if it's a pegacorn, it's definitely a pegacorn. And so she had like pegacorn stickers like on the back of her phone, and so she's just like adorably kind of dorky.
So after that, did y'all like party, or like what did y'all do? Did you get to listen to her new album?
We did, and you guys, like, I can't talk about the album, but it is solid gold perfection, riding a pegacorn over a rainbow. That's the only way that I could possibly phrase that. It's the highest compliment I could really pay it. Like,
Honestly, yeah.
Like, every album before this was just practice. Like, Red was just a warm-up. I mean,
That's saying a lot.
Yeah, it is that good.
Are you allowed to say that? Shake It Off.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, Shake It Off is the first single off the album.
Okay, yeah. So Shake It Off is on the album, and that's pretty exciting.
There was so much like going on in the room that I was in love with, I love. Like, I mean, you have Taylor Swift, you have a kitten, and you have cookies. Like, it's really the.
Oh yeah, she made you guys
Like,
cookies.
yeah, she did. She made like chocolate covered Rice Krispie treats and like chai sugar cookies with cinnamon eggnog icing. Like, who does that? Like, these were not like break and bake, Toll House chocolate chip. Like,
Taylor Swift.
This is me. This night was me. Like, really, it was like food and Taylor Swift
And kittens.
kittens. Like, it really, like, that's who I am. So,
Taylor Swift cookies and kittens.
exactly, absolutely.
What else happened after? Did you have like one-on-one time?
Yeah, so we listened to the second half of the album, but then Shake It Off came on, and Taylor hopped up, and we just like had a dance party in her family room to Shake It Off.
So great.
You really haven't lived until you've danced and screamed the lyrics to Shake It Off with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
And the floor was shaking, and her dad came in and was like, okay, like, time to move the party outside. And so we kind of which was actually really good because it got so hot in the room. Kind of mingled by the pool for a few minutes, and then we came in, and it got to meet her and ask her questions. And
So this was one-on-one?
This was one-on-one, and then we got our Polaroid, which all of those have been floating around the internet, but yeah, we got our Polaroid from the night.
Great. Didn't you get to hold her Grammy?
I did. I got to hold her Grammy, which was awesome, and probably be the first and last time I ever hold a Grammy award. But it was so awesome just to be there, to be in her house, to look in her eyes, and she doesn't look past you. I mean, so many people, you meet somebody on the street or you meet somebody at school and they're like on their phone the whole time, or they look past you. And she was so present. She just like looks you in the eye and knows your name.
When the one-on-one time happened, did you talk to her about anything?
Well, I just kind of told her, I was like, it's so crazy to meet you because I've seen you in concert and I've listened to your music and I've watched you on TV. And
You are a 15-year-old girl.
I really am. I'm a 15-year-old white girl. It's fine. But anyway, so she's like, you know, it's really weird to meet all of you too because I've been stalking you on social media for months. So we're feeling the same thing. And I was like, pretty sure we're not. But it's like so crazy to meet her and talk to her like that. And then
You gave her your number, right?
I did. I put I wrote her a note and
You wrote her a note.
I put my phone number at the bottom of it.
Nice.
I absolutely did.
Hopefully she'll text you when you're in New York and you can get some dinner with Swift.
Yeah, I would not be opposed to that.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
All right. Well, after that, like, how did it end? How did the whole thing end?
So we go outside and they gave us a tote bag with like t-shirts and a couple calendars and our keychain.
Oh, that's cool.
Which was awesome and it was one of the most memorable nights of my entire life.
Did they give you your wallet back?
Yeah. So we get back to the parking lot and get our wallet and phone and all that good stuff back. And
Did they make sure you didn't steal anything from her house?
yes, we were patted down again before we got back on the bus.
I would have taken the cat
We'll
too,
sit here.
but you would have gotten shot probably.
Yeah, that would not have ended well for me, I will say that.
Did anyone try to touch your butt?
No.
Okay, well that's good. So after the whole thing was over and you went home, did you just cry yourself to sleep?
I couldn't actually sleep. I came home and I was like, this actually happened. Like, this is real life. Everybody thought it was a hoax. I mean, everybody, meaning my parents. Like, my mom thought I was gonna be kidnapped. And,
So you didn't tell anyone?
Well, I told my parents. I told my parents, and then they thought it was a hoax. But
I'm gonna be honest, when I saw the picture on Facebook, I thought it was photoshopped because the Grammy looked like it was in front of your hands.
yeah, lots of people didn't believe that it was real, and still do not believe that it's real. But it absolutely happened.
So when does the album come out?
The album comes out on October 27th, and you can pre-order it now. And you totally should, because if you pre-order it, you also get entered for a chance to meet Taylor Swift.
John Mark made an article that got featured on BuzzFeed about the whole thing, and so I'll link that in the description below if you want to read that as well.
Yeah, check it out.
It's pretty great. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below who your favorite musician is, or just how much you love Taylor Swift. And guys, where there's a will, there's a way. My name is Will. Have a fabulous day.
Keep cruising, can't stop, won't stop moving. It's like I got this music in my mind saying it's
This is so awkward. I think that's good enough.